These weekdays on the Coast Best Mix, 7AD, 7BU from the album Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player. From 1973, it is Elton John with Crocodile Rock. Time now to take a peek inside with Craig Heppel from the Ulverston Real Estate. Craig, good morning to you.
Good morning, Andrew. And I remember when Rock was young.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm showing my age.
Oh, we both are, aren't we? Mate, a peek inside today. Valuations, evaluations and appraisals. We're doing part two.
This is part two. So last week, you'll recall, we mainly concentrated on what an appraisal was and who it was carried out by, and that's a real estate agent. So an appraisal is a function carried out by agents to assess a property or home as to its likely market value. But what about valuations? And there's a bit of myth surrounding it. So I'll try and explain it to everyone. So while similar to an appraisal, the difference lies in who carries out a valuation and what purpose they are for. We're sticking to residential property here, okay? So valuations are carried out by certified practicing valuers who've completed tertiary studies, and they've usually attained a degree such as a Bachelor of Property of Economics or similar. So we, the general public, usually deal with values under a couple of circumstances.
Right.
Now, number one, it's to value a sale contracted property on behalf of a lender, being a bank, to ensure that the contract price is in line with current market conditions and prices. And the value of a property which may be used as equity for a loan to buy another property, say an investment property, or value a property which is being used as equity from the bank of mum and dad, you know, helping out the kids.
I certainly know that.
Yeah, I've been there too. So that's number one. But the second one is to value a property which may be the subject of a legal proceeding, such as a deceased estate, a divorce, or even the proceeds of crime.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so valuers can be used in legal matters. So now one of the myths around valuers and valuations is that they work for or they're under the employ of the banks or lenders. No, they're not. They're independent valuation companies, independent entities, and they contract their services out to banks and lenders. Now, two companies that come to mind here in the northwest of Tassie, that's valuation companies, are Heron Todd White and Option. So let's say that you've just sold your home, it's under contract, and your buyer has to borrow money from a bank to complete the deal. Now, as part of their due diligence to ensure the asset that they're lending against has been contracted for true market value, the lender will go to its list of contracted valuation companies and contact the relevant company. It might be based on the location that the home's in. And then they'll ask them to dispatch a valuer to the contracted property. So this is the property that's got a contract on it and it's subject to finance. So the valuer contacts the selling agent to arrange an inspection.
Now, can someone else, if they want that home, come in and want to buy it under the contract?
No, once the property's under contract just with some conditions, it's basically off the market. But if one of those conditions fails, bang, we're back on the market.
Right.
Yeah. So the valuer takes into account the same data that the agent would have utilised when appraising the property. That is recent similar sales, current similar listings, current days on market. But then the valuer might get a little more scientific, hence the degree, and calculate land size, that's price per square metre, size of the dwelling, footprint, precise location of the property, proximity to amenities, all that sort of thing. So the valuer will then furnish a report as to whether the property has been sold for fair market value or is being sold above market value, and here's where problems can arise. If the valuer believes that the property is being sold for overs and reflects that in a report to the lender can knock back the finance application, leaving the deal on life support. This means the buyer can walk from the deal or attempt to renegotiate the price with the seller.
Wow.
So these situations are not common, but I have experienced them and headed back to the renegotiation table, or sadly, the deal's gone south. Now, in the vast majority of cases, valuers report back to the lender that the price the property has sold for matches current market conditions. So myth number two, valuers usually value properties below true market value. It's a myth. You've got to remember something. Valuations can be presented as evidence in legal proceedings and held up to cross-examination. So it's always in the best interest of a valuer to be as accurate as possible. Valuers can be hired to carry out pre-sale valuations to help sellers ensure that they're on the money when pricing their homes to sell. As you can see, the functions of a valuer carrying out property valuations can be varied. So if you want to know more about appraisals, valuations, or real estate in general, hit me up and send me an email, craig@alstonrealestate.com, or give me a call, 0400 180 515. Now, a quick market update, Andrew.
Okay.
Buyers are regaining confidence. One of our properties we showed on Super Saturday, just this last weekend, had 14 inspections within half an hour. The motto for buyers is very soon going to be, he who hesitates is lost.
Wow. 14, that's a lot of people, usually.
14 within half an hour at one inspection.
How many people do you normally get on a...
Look, you might get somewhere between 4 and 6.
That's what I thought.
But I knew this was going to be a hot property and I expected probably 10. We got 14.
Wow.
Yep.
Did you sell it?
2 offers and we went to contract last night.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep. So here's a quote of the week. Now, have you heard of Zig Ziglar?
Never.
Zig Ziglar is one of the most famous motivational business speakers on earth. Sadly, he's passed on.
Yep.
And I want everyone to really listen into this. You can get everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people to get what they want.
I've got to think about that saying.
In other words, if you're a problem solver, the world beats a path to your door.
Sounds pretty good.
Yep.
Well, Craig, are we continuing with part 3?
No, we're up on valuations, but next week I've got an absolute beauty, and it's all about multiple offers.
Okay, then. Craig, thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks, Andrew.
Okay, there goes Craig Heppel from the Alveston Real Estate. Of course, we do a Peak Insight every Thursday about 11:20. Coming up on weekdays, we've got Cold Chisel, the Mamas and the Papas.